Have you ever noticed those subtle shifts in people as they get older? Not the obvious things like gray hair or a slower pace, but something deeper, something less visible, yet unmistakably there. It's a challenging truth, but sometimes, without even realizing it, we adopt certain habits or ways of being that, well, they might not always show us in the best light. It's not about judgment, not at all, but rather an honest look at some common pitfalls that can creep in as the years accumulate. These are the kinds of things that everyone notices, but, out of love or politeness, nobody ever really talks about. And the painful reality, these unintended shifts can sometimes create a little distance, or even subtly diminish the vibrant, engaging person we know ourselves to be, or strive to be. The secret is, these aren't flaws in character. They're often just natural responses to the changes that come with age, whether physical, emotional, or social. But they don't have to define us. In this video, we're going to bravely and very gently look at 5 of these very common, yet often unspoken, habits that seniors sometimes fall into. More importantly, we'll explore practical, compassionate ways to shift these patterns, not just for how others see us, but for our own well-being, our own sense of joy, and our continued connection to the world around us. This isn't about being perfect. It's about continuing to live fully, vibrantly, and authentically. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's dive right into the first area we might inadvertently overlook: our personal presentation. Now, this isn't about being vain or chasing youth, not by a long shot. It's about the subtle, sometimes unconscious, ways we might let our grooming and appearance slide, and how that can affect not just how others perceive us, but profoundly, how we feel about ourselves. As we age, things like dexterity might lessen, energy levels fluctuate, or vision might not be what it once was. Getting dressed, doing our hair, or even keeping up with basic hygiene can feel like a Herculean task. Maybe a shower feels too risky, or tying shoelaces becomes a struggle, or choosing an outfit feels utterly overwhelming. And if we're dealing with loneliness, grief, or depression, the motivation to even get out of bed, let alone primp, can vanish entirely. But here's the thing: when we consistently neglect these small acts of self-care, it sends a message, both to ourselves and to the world. To ourselves, it can whisper, "I'm not worth the effort," or "I'm giving up to others." It might unintentionally signal a lack of engagement, or even a decline in health that isn't necessarily true. The truth is, feeling put together, even in the simplest way, can significantly boost our mood, our confidence, and our willingness to engage with the day. It's a foundational piece of respecting ourselves and showing the world that we are still here, still active, still valuing our presence. The fix for this isn't complicated or expensive. It starts with setting up simple, achievable routines. Think about laying out your clothes the night before, choosing comfortable fabrics that don't wrinkle easily, or opting for slip-on shoes if laces are a bother. A 5-minute routine in the morning can make all the difference. Brush your hair, splash water on your face, put on a bit of lip balm or a touch of color. For men, a clean shave or trimmed beard can refresh your whole look. Consider getting a haircut that's easy to manage and requires minimal fuss. If showering feels difficult, install a shower chair or grab bars. Sometimes, simply having a clean, well-fitting outfit, even if it's just a comfortable tracksuit, makes us feel more ready for the day than staying in pajamas. And please, if you're struggling with depression or physical limitations, don't hesitate to ask for help from a family member, a friend, or even a home care service. Prioritizing self-care isn't vanity. It's self-respect and a commitment to feeling good. It's amazing how much brighter the world looks when you feel a bit more polished and ready to meet it. Now, let's talk about the second subtle shift we sometimes see, and perhaps even catch ourselves doing: becoming what some might call a negative Nancy or a grumpy Gus. This isn't about having a bad day or expressing a legitimate concern. It's about a consistent, almost pervasive tendency to focus on what's wrong, to complain about aches and pains, about the weather, about the kids these days, or how things used to be. It's easy to fall into this pattern. As we age, we often face more physical discomforts, experience losses of loved ones, and witness a rapidly changing world that can feel alienating. These are genuine struggles, and it's completely natural to feel down or frustrated. However, when negativity becomes our default mode of communication, it can inadvertently create distance. People, even those who love us dearly, can start to dread conversations or subtly pull away. Because constant complaining is draining, it doesn't just affect others, it deeply impacts our own health and happiness. Research has shown that chronic negativity can actually worsen pain, increase stress, and even weaken our immune system. It traps us in a cycle where our problems feel magnified, and joy becomes harder to find. We start seeing the world through a filter of what's wrong, rather than what's right or what's still possible. The fix isn't about pretending everything is perfect, but about consciously shifting our focus and finding ways to express ourselves that are more constructive and uplifting. One powerful tool is a daily gratitude practice. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Simply taking a moment each morning or evening to list 3 things you're grateful for: the warmth of your coffee, a phone call from a friend, the sun shining, can rewire your brain to notice the good. Another strategy is to become mindful of your thoughts. When you catch yourself spiraling into complaint, gently redirect. Ask yourself, is there a solution here, or am I just venting? If it's the latter, perhaps find a more productive outlet, like journaling, or sharing your concerns with a trusted friend who can offer support rather than just feed the negativity. Actively seek out small joys. Spend time in nature. Listen to music that lifts your spirits. Call someone who makes you laugh. Engage in conversations that are more than just a list of woes. Ask others about their day. Really listen, and share something positive about yours, even if it's small. Set boundaries with negative input. 2. Limit your exposure to overly negative news or gossip. Cultivating an attitude of solution-seeking rather than just problem-dwelling can be incredibly empowering. Remember, your words create your world. Choosing to speak more positively, even when things are tough, can significantly improve your mood and draw people closer to you. It's about radiating warmth rather than worry. Now that we've discussed the power of personal presentation and the pitfalls of pervasive negativity, let's consider another vital aspect of living a truly rich and engaged life as we age. Continuing our conversation, let's turn our attention to the third common pitfall: losing our spark for learning and trying new things. It's incredibly easy to fall into a routine as we get older, to stick with what's familiar and comfortable. We've accumulated a lifetime of knowledge and experiences, and it can feel like there's nothing new under the sun. Or perhaps that learning new things is simply too hard, too confusing, or even a bit silly at our age. Maybe you've heard yourself say, "I'm too old for that," or "My brain just doesn't work that way anymore." Especially when faced with new technology like smartphones, smart TVs, or even just a new way of doing things at the bank. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace, and it's natural to feel a bit overwhelmed or left behind. However, when we stop engaging with new information, new skills, or new perspectives, we risk mental stagnation. Our minds, like our bodies, thrive on challenge and novelty. If we always walk the same path, read the same books, watch the same shows, and only talk about the past, we start to narrow our world. This lack of curiosity doesn't just make us less adaptable, it can actually impact our cognitive health. Our brains need stimulation to stay sharp and flexible. Beyond that, clinging rigidly to the way things used to be can make us feel out of touch, perhaps even a bit irrelevant, in conversations with younger generations, or even with our peers who are embracing new experiences. It creates a barrier, not just to external opportunities, but to our own internal growth and joy. The good news is that the human brain is incredibly resilient and capable of learning at any age. It's called neuroplasticity. The fix for this particular habit is to consciously embrace lifelong learning and cultivate a spirit of curiosity. Start small. If technology feels daunting, Perhaps ask a grandchild or a trusted friend to teach you one new thing on your phone each week, like how to send a photo or use a video call app. Don't try to learn everything at once. Celebrate small victories. For general learning, consider taking a community college class, even if it's just for fun, something like pottery, local history, or a new language. Many libraries offer free online courses through platforms like Coursera or LinkedIn Learning, covering everything from gardening to coding. Try new hobbies that challenge your mind and body. Learn a new card game. Pick up a musical instrument you always wanted to try. Or start a new craft project. Read books outside of your usual genre. Engage in conversations with people from different backgrounds or age groups, and actively listen to their perspectives, even if they differ from your own. Visit new places in your town or nearby, even if it's just a new park or a different coffee shop. The key is to step gently outside your comfort zone, to challenge those assumptions about what you can't do or shouldn't learn. Staying curious and open to new experiences keeps your mind agile, your spirit young, and ensures you remain an engaging, vibrant participant in life, always growing. Moving on to our fourth common habit, one that requires a great deal of self-awareness and honesty over relying on others or becoming subtly demanding. As we age, our needs naturally change, and there are certainly times when we genuinely require assistance. It's important to accept help when it's truly needed. However, sometimes, without realizing it, we can begin to expect others to do things for us that we might still be capable of doing ourselves, or we might express our needs in a way that feels more like a demand than a request. This isn't always malicious. It can stem from a genuine fear of losing control, or a belief that after a lifetime of giving, it's their turn to take care of us. It might also arise from a subtle entitlement, perhaps born from past roles as matriarch or patriarch, where our word was law. The impact of this can be significant. While family and friends often want to help, a consistent pattern of excessive reliance or demanding behavior can lead to caregiver burnout, resentment, and a feeling of being taken for granted. It can strain relationships and inadvertently make others feel burdened rather than connected. Furthermore, for us, it can erode our own sense of independence and capability. When we stop trying to do things for ourselves, even small tasks, our muscles weaken, our problem-solving skills dull, and our confidence dwindles. We might inadvertently become more dependent than we actually need to be, which ironically can lead to feeling more isolated and less in control. The fix here is multifaceted and rooted in cultivating conscious independence and respectful communication. First, honestly assess what you truly need help with versus what you could still do for yourself, even if it takes a bit more time or effort. For example, if you can still walk to the kitchen to get a glass of water, do it, rather than asking someone to fetch it for you. Set up your home in a way that maximizes your autonomy. Keep frequently used items within easy reach. Use assistive devices if they make tasks easier and safer, like a long-handled grabber or an ergonomic opener. When you do need help, communicate your needs clearly and respectfully, rather than assuming or demanding. Instead of, "Get me that," try, "Would you mind helping me with this when you have a moment?" Express genuine gratitude for the help you receive. A heartfelt thank you goes a long way in fostering positive relationships. Furthermore, consider how you can reciprocate, even in small ways. If someone helps you with groceries, perhaps offer to share a meal, or a listening ear, or share a story. Reciprocity fosters equality and connection. If your needs are extensive, explore professional care options so that family members can remain in their roles as loving relatives, rather than feeling like full-time caregivers. Cultivating self-reliance where possible, while gracefully accepting help when truly necessary, strengthens your relationships and preserves your dignity. It's about being an active participant in your own care, not just a recipient. As we move forward, let's explore our final point, which is deeply connected to our personal well-being and quality of life. Now, for our fifth and final area, one that often holds profound implications for our quality of life as we age, ignoring the signs our body is giving us. This isn't about hypochondria or constant worry, but rather a tendency many of us develop to dismiss aches, pains, unusual symptoms, or simply put off regular health checkups, we might tell ourselves, "Oh, it's just old age," or "It'll go away," or perhaps we have a deep-seated fear of what a doctor might find. Maybe we're tired of appointments, medications, and the seemingly endless list of things that can go wrong. After all, nobody wants to feel like a medical case study. It's a very human reaction to want to avoid unpleasant news. However, this habit of avoidance can have truly serious consequences. Those whispers from our body, a persistent cough, new pain, changes in digestion, memory lapses, are often early warning signs that something needs attention. When we ignore them, conditions that could be easily managed or even cured in their early stages can become more serious, more difficult to treat, and ultimately, far more debilitating. This can lead to a reduced quality of life, increased pain, hospital stays, and a significant loss of independence. It's heartbreaking to see someone struggling unnecessarily because they put off a simple checkup or dismissed a symptom that could have been addressed months earlier. Beyond the physical, the underlying anxiety of not knowing, or the stress of worsening symptoms, can take a heavy toll on our mental and emotional health too. It's not just about prolonging life, but about enriching the life we have and ensuring we can continue to enjoy the people and activities that bring us joy. The fix for this is proactive health management. And it begins with a shift in mindset, seeing our healthcare providers as partners in maintaining our well-being, rather than just as people we visit when something is terribly wrong. First and foremost, commit to regular preventative care. This means annual physicals, recommended screenings like mammograms, colonoscopies, or prostate exams, and routine dental and eye checkups. These appointments are designed to catch potential issues early, often before they become problems. Think of it as preventative maintenance for your most important vehicle, your body. Secondly, become an active listener to your body. Keep a simple journal of any new or persistent symptoms, noting when they started, what makes them better or worse, and how often they occur. This information is invaluable to your doctor. Don't be afraid to speak up during appointments. If you feel rushed, or if your concerns aren't being addressed, don't hesitate to politely ask for more clarification or even seek a second opinion. You are your own best advocate. Embrace healthy habits that support your body gentle. Consistent exercise like walking or swimming, a balanced diet rich in whole foods, adequate sleep, and managing stress through mindfulness or hobbies. These daily choices are fundamental. Remember, taking care of your health isn't a burden. It's an investment in your freedom, your vitality, and your ability to continue living the life you love. It's about empowering yourself to address challenges head-on, rather than letting fear or denial dictate your health journey. It allows you to maintain your independence and keep doing the things that bring you happiness for as long as possible. So, we've talked about 5 areas where we might inadvertently stumble as we navigate the journey of aging. Those subtle shifts that everyone notices but rarely talks about. We discussed the importance of maintaining our personal presentation, not out of vanity, but as an act of self-respect and a boost to our confidence. We explored how to move beyond a default of negativity, cultivating gratitude and seeking out joy to improve our relationships and our own peace of mind. We then dove into the immense benefits of staying curious and embracing lifelong learning, keeping our minds sharp and our spirits young by trying new things. Next, we looked at how to balance independence with asking for help, ensuring we maintain strong, loving relationships without placing undue burden. And finally, we just covered the critical importance of listening to our bodies and proactively managing our health, turning potential problems into manageable situations. Remember, none of this is about judgment or pointing fingers. It's about offering a gentle mirror, a loving nudge, to remind ourselves that we have the power to influence how we experience aging and how others experience us. Small changes, consistently applied, can make an enormous difference to your health, your happiness, and your relationships. Think about picking just one of these areas that resonated most with you today and commit to one tiny step this week. Perhaps it's laying out your clothes tonight, or starting a gratitude journal, or simply asking a friend to show you one new thing on your phone. We're all in this together, navigating the beautiful, complex journey of getting older. What are your thoughts on these topics? Have you noticed any of these shifts in yourself or others? And what strategies have you found helpful? Please share your wisdom and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if this conversation resonated with you, if it offered a fresh perspective, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more people who could benefit from these messages. And don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content designed to empower you to live your best life at every age. It's about living fully, vibrantly, and with purpose, every single day. Let's continue to be the engaging, wise, and joyful individuals we truly are. Live your best life at every age.